Welcome to another episode of Tile Trends by Tile Club, the podcast where we explore all things tile, home improvement, and renovation. Today, you're in for a special treat as we sit down and chat with the mastermind behind Oakhearth Homes. Today, we have a special guest joining us, Drew Prince from Oakhearth Homes, a company known for crafting beautiful custom homes. Welcome, Drew. We're so excited to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
So we have been following you for quite some time. We are obsessed with everything that we've seen on social media, from custom builds to gorgeous tile installations. Can you tell us more about the journey that led to the founding of Oakhearth Homes, from flipping houses to now creating and designing custom builds?
Yeah, my wife and I years ago, I've been in the construction industry pretty much my whole life. My family's been a part of it, mainly exterior stuff. But my wife and I had some goals to try to start flipping houses. And so that's what we did. We started flipping some houses, and we didn't do very well return-wise on them. But they kind of helped us get to another level with other things and be able to connect with other people in the industry, seeing what we had done. So in all reality, we didn't make any money really in those. We actually lost money. But we were able to jumpstart our business, Oakhearth Homes, which was really cool. So a lot of learning and growing from the flipping business, and that's a totally different type of business and not really something I really enjoy. It's a very cheap and cutthroat industry. There's a lot of people in it that don't know what they're doing, and they put cheap products and cheap materials and cheap labor into houses. And I never liked that aspect of it. I like to create spaces that really look beautiful, that people are happy about, and that has a lot of real value, and you put your heart into it. So that's how we got started with Oakhearth Homes. We had some family friends recommend us for a kitchen remodel, and it kind of took off from there and just really spiraled. From that point, really our next step was starting to build custom homes. So this last year, 2023, we built our first fully custom spec home. So everything was built top of the line, over the top, with the desire to sell it at the end. But when you walk in, it doesn't look like the average spec house. It looks like a custom build. So it was a long process. We started the permits on that in 2021. That's when we went pending on the lot. And so it was 2 years to get the permit before we were able to get going. So yeah, but it was worth it. And now we're building more out in a different part of town. So we'll just keep going and keep building.
Yeah. Man, I have so many questions. That was great. So much to talk about, which is perfect since this is a podcast. So
Right.
In your bio, you talk about your work on social media and how important it has been for your company to provide high quality photos, video footage of your work. Can you tell us a little bit more about how social media has played a role in the growth and success of your company?
Yeah, I think one of the things I was looking at, I used to work with a bunch of builders and contractors that did mainly exterior stuff, roofing, siding, windows. My company supplied them with materials. And so, for the most part, what I saw in this industry was it was really old school. Guys are out in the field working with their hands. They don't provide people with pictures of what they actually do. Maybe they get a couple snapshots, but typically this is a word of mouth business. And that's really where the people that succeed do very well. But there's more to it, because a lot of homeowners, they want to visually be able to tell what you're capable of doing. And I saw that nobody was really doing that. And, there was no pictures online of like, this was what the kitchen used to look like before, and now this is what it looks like after. And so I just thought, why not be able to showcase what you actually do and get stories that people can follow daily that can show, we demoed out the kitchen. It took this long. It took this long to get the counters in and the cabinets and the floors. So people can actually get a feel for what it's like to live through a remodel. So that when we show up to their house, it's not just, wow, this is all brand new. They kind of have an idea because they've seen it.
Yeah, I gotta say, so I managed most of our social media accounts, and we were just over the moon at one particular shower that you guys have had
Yeah.
basically go viral a few times. And I was thinking, like, oh man, I've got to figure out who these designers are. Like, I had no idea you guys were like a custom home build company because of the quality of the images and video footage. So you're right, you guys are like making waves in your niche, which is really, really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people involved in it. I mean, not a lot, we have a social media marketing guy, who's my brother, who's amazing at everything he does on the computer. So it really stands out. And then my wife is the one that's mainly ran on the design portion of that build. We work together on that, but that shower has definitely gone crazy. And I mean, the videos have gone viral every time it gets posted. So it's been awesome to see that real in-house, like the things that my wife and I always had a desire for, and the things that we always thought were good quality ideas, that other people actually see that as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. It definitely, the quality shines through and your work is incredible. So you've mentioned your wife a couple of times. We are a woman-owned company, so we would love to hear a little more about her. Can you tell us what role she plays in the company?
She does a lot of things that go unseen. Obviously there's a lot of, paperwork and just keeping me, focused. Um, she does all the designs on our new builds. So right now we've got another one going right now, and she's focused on, making sure everything flows throughout the space. And she'll continue to do that. And we also have a new division within our company. It's Oakhearth Homes Real Estate. And so she is the backbone of that and helping customers buy, sell, so that, we become essentially one source, one solution for homeowners. So when they're looking to buy a house, they call us. When they're looking to sell a house, they call us. When they're looking to remodel, they call us. When they're looking to build, they call us. So that, anything to do with their house, they only have to call one place. So it's really just getting going. She's been buying and selling our own stuff for years, but we really want to bring that to customers and be able to help them out so that they already trust us in their house to do major remodels. So why not trust us to sell it to or buy it?
That's incredible. I've never heard of like a one-stop shop. Like everything that you guys are doing is you're just, the entrepreneurial skills are superb. I love it. So let's roll into a little bit more of the design aspect. Obviously, we're a tile company, so we're all about floor and wall coverings. I'd love to pick your brain a little bit about bathrooms and kitchens. So we know that both of those spaces are considered the heart of the home. What are some key elements that you guys focus on to create like dream-worthy spaces in those particular areas?
I think there's combining different colors, multifunctional, being able to, there's a couple of things that we really focused on with our last build, and that was being able to have neutral colors and also bringing some greens in there that'll really make the space lively. And then having a wall color that doesn't take away from the rest of the space. And so tile, to me, you have to figure out in a kitchen whether you want the tile to be the flash or you want the counter to be the flash. And so there's a couple different ways you can go about it, and you can make your tile still really stand out without taking away from the rest of the kitchen. And this last build, the one in this picture behind me, that's what we did. We actually made a choice on like a Carrara marble, and I realized it was taking away from the rest of the kitchen. And so we went with something that had a more subtle look, and the amount of feedback on it was awesome. And I just found it on a whim online, and it was amazing. So we're going to use that again somewhere. But Bathrooms are all tile, so you really have to make tile is the key in the bathroom. And some people overdo it with a lot of different variables. We try to, again, bring some natural wood tones in the space, some neutral colors, and then some bold colors. And I think when you combine all three of those elements, you create a really inviting space.
Awesome. So, Drew, your motto for the company is do great work, take care of your customers, and the rest takes care of itself. How does this philosophy guide your daily operations and decisions?
That's kind of been the thing since the beginning. Unfortunately, there's a lot of really bad contractors out there, and they kind of hurt the industry. And, there's a lot of good ones too. And we get a bad rap, and, we get talked down. We just get treated differently than maybe other industries. And it's really sad sometimes. Some of my guys, they get treated differently on job sites. And I just think a lot of times it's just disrespectful. Because we're out there, we're doing a job, we're working as hard as we can to make your space as beautiful as possible, and it comes with a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice away from your families. But in the end, this is what we do for a living. This is how we pay our bills, and so I've always thought that we're going to do as good of a job as we can do. When something's not right, I tell my guys to rip it out. We do it once and then we're done. We don't want to have customers that are upset about things. We have to go back, and I don't understand how contractors all don't have that philosophy, but it's always been my mindset to make sure that we do it once, we do it right, and make sure you're always taking care of your customer.
Yeah. That's awesome. We've interviewed several just designers in the past, and we've interviewed contractors as well, particularly tile contractors. But the common thread that almost every designer we've talked to has said, "Oh, we signed with a contractor that we found out later wasn't licensed."
Right.
Et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, oh, and then like the plumbing and this happened. And then it was $20,000 more or whatever. So it's just so refreshing to talk to somebody that takes this seriously and, has pride in what you guys do. In the realm of real estate, what unique advantages do you believe Oakhearth Homes can offer to homeowners and investors?
I think, we really have seen it all. We know good locations to invest in. We invest in homes in Arizona, Eastern Washington. And so we kind of have an idea on location, size, space, what's going to be beneficial, what you should put into your house, where you're going to see a return or not see a return. So I think, years of just doing the actual work and then, being an investor in this industry has helped us to understand the process. And that's come along with a lot of people that we've known in the real estate industry that have helped us as well. So we've learned from them and then, pass it down to other people.
Yeah, awesome. You're coming at it from all different angles instead of just kind of one side of the story. And I'm sure that is very beneficial. So are there any upcoming projects or initiatives that you're particularly excited about or that you want to share with our listeners to be watching out for?
Yeah, we got a couple of really cool projects coming up. We're building a house in Suncadia, which is like a resort town, second home area, and we got a couple that are coming up here in the near future. So stay tuned for those. They're going to be really cool. A lot of special features. I think my wife calls them. The first one is called a masculine mountain house. So
Nice.
it's got some unique style to it.
Very cool. Got a couple more questions for you, Drew. So, of course, we know DIY has taken the internet by storm. there are television shows and things that are to blame. And then we see just a movement on social media with a lot of people that are like, I'm just going to do it myself. I can save more money this way. I would love to pick your brain a little bit on your opinion, because I know that you guys did start kind of by doing your own flips, but you've also been in the industry for a while. So you guys had that knowledge and know-how already. What would you say to somebody who is looking at a remodel? Let's say it's not something too drastic. Maybe it's just they're doing a guest bathroom remodel or something like that. What would be the best advice you could give them as they research a DIY route versus hiring a contractor?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this industry it's not complicated. I think I'm not doing anything special. I think anybody could really do it. I mean, and I tell people that all the time. I have friends that I've helped start a business in the same industry. It's not rocket science. You just, like I said, like my motto is, do good work and take care of your customers. When it comes to DIY, it's really just doing your research. There's social media these days, companies like ours, YouTube has tons of details about how to do things yourself. So it's definitely doable, but I will say it's an animal. So it takes a lot of research to get it done and do it the right way. A lot of people skip steps because there's a lot of challenges, just like any industry that you're in. So if you're going to do it yourself, my recommendation is do it right, because you don't want to have to pay for it twice. And if you don't want to do it right, then hire a professional, because we know what we're doing and you won't have to do it twice.
Easy peasy. I like it. Can you share a little bit about what it's like working as a family operated business? And what do you think are the advantages and challenges of working closely with your family members in the company?
That's a really good question. I think, there's a balance of trying to figure out, when to cut off work, right? When you're at home, my wife and I work together a lot. We're figuring out things for real estate, for remodels, for new builds all the time. And so there's got to be a fine line, and it's a challenge for us trying to figure that out, when to cut that off and talk about other things that are more important. And then, the same thing comes with, working with my brother as well. So, we've grown up together. We're 9 years apart. So, there's a challenge of just knowing how you speak to each other, and, how you can trust them. And so, it's just figuring out that balance, working with family, knowing that everybody always has your best interest, just finding the right balance. I think a lot of people struggle working with their family members, and I think we've done a pretty good job. But again, there's challenges to it, and you just try to overcome them and get better and learn from them. So
Yeah, awesome. Something you would recommend then?
yeah, you find the
Yeah.
right people to do good work, and they care about the overall picture, then
Mhm.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it seems like you guys would be like pretty like-minded, and then at the end of the day, like you said, you've got each other's backs and you know where your heart's at, and I think that's awesome. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. So my last question for today is, what advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs in the construction and real estate industry based on your own experiences and journey with Oakhearth Homes?
I was asked the same exact question on another podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I told them that what I'll tell you, and what we did to really get this going is, obviously you've got to start with people that just like any industry, and then from there you got to build off of that. I think social media obviously has become a huge benefit to people starting their own businesses, and there's places on Facebook. Facebook community pages are very powerful. You can find people interested in doing a project and be able to bid projects through that website. And then once your project's done, have them post that on the community page. And people trust their community members that, they know that if their friends or their neighbors did it and they use them, then it's likely that you're going to do a good job for them as well. So I would say using social media as a tool to build your business, find community pages. And then the other key component is giving back to the community that you work in. So we do a lot of giveaways, we've done things over the years, like during COVID, where we gave like 10 single moms or single dads dinner for a couple days during the week because they were, they didn't have jobs, things like that. We've given away, we have an Airbnb in Arizona. We've given away trips to a gala to raise money. We've done that for golf tournaments that are raising money for certain awarenesses. We've done sponsorships for schools. Every year we do some sort of large event to try to give back to the community. This year we did a couple of free Santa photos with people in the community. And so, being a part of a community and building up your business and letting people know like your family pretty much, and that, you can come to you for anything and that you can trust them. And you do that over time. It doesn't happen overnight, but the harder that you try to make sure people understand that you're a good person, you're there to take care of them, fix their house, make it beautiful, and give back to the community, I think more and more people will trust you.
That's so awesome. Your love for what you do for sure just like comes through. And it's just so inspiring what you guys are doing to build up your community, and it's clear to see why you guys have been so successful. So thanks for sharing that with us. Thanks again, Drew, for being on the show. We're so looking forward to getting this out to our listeners, and it's been such a pleasure to meet you and to get to know more about Oakhearth Homes.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to join us next time for another episode of Tile Trends by Tile Club.